When I was born in Niles, which is I think it was actually Des Plaines, and so my mom brought me home to the house that they started living in, and they had just moved into that house. So maybe it was a week or so prior to me being born, and I'd lived there for my whole life, until I moved out. So it was it was kind of neat. It was one of the couple homes on that street because it was a growing little community. And so, yeah, that was kind of neat. It was a less busy street than it is now.
So, what was it like growing up with your mom as your mom?
My mom is my mom. Well, she was, one thing I was thinking is that she was always there. She was always there for us. We would come home from school, or if we were out playing or whatever. There was never a time when she was not home. And it was very reassuring. That was something you could always count on. And it was just nice knowing that, because nowadays, with broken homes and people not having their father at home and the mother at home or something, which I think really added to the stability of the family. Because we had a very strong mother and father that took care of us and was always there for us. So, and she was always someone that I could talk to, as we, whatever problems I had or something, she was always a willing ear. And it was just nice to have someone like that. And she always, did her best to take care of us. As far as, having 6 kids, it gets, of course, they were all in the house at the same time, but at least the first 4 of us were, Eileen and Jeannie and Marilyn and I. And I remember that she would, to make ends meet, she would, for breakfast, we would have toast, which she would put in the oven, and it would be like cinnamon toast and had some sugar on it, and that was breakfast. And she probably had like a dozen or so in there, because that's what she had to do to feed everybody. I don't know what my dad was making at the time, but having a new house and a growing family. So yeah, she did her best, and it was like I said, very reassuring.
So if you had to pick one word, this is hard to do, but one word to describe your mom, what would it be?
It would have to, just one word. She was very loving. She was very loving. She supported her husband, and definitely did everything that she could to make his life better, and help raise all the kids, because Dad wasn't always home at the time. So. Loving, nurturing. She was an amazing cook. Sometimes her leftovers were better than the actual main meal because of the different things that she could do. So we always had food on the table. So that was, there was never a time when we didn't have something to eat. So she always made sure that everyone got fed. We were never hungry, which is good.
What's one thing she made that you still think about? Or you still may eat?
I would have to say probably the thing that just pops up is she had a great meat spaghetti sauce. And you could like put this meat sauce in anything. It would taste great. And so I kind of grew up with that. Now my wife, she likes sauce without meat, so it was kind of a little difficult there. But I would always like the meat sauce in there, and so yeah, that was one thing. But she she was very good with Mexican food, tacos, enchiladas, Mexican type casserole dishes, lasagna. I mean, I could go. I guess I don't know. I mean, as a growing boy, you think about food a lot. It's very important in your life. It was a very welcoming home environment that she provided. Everything was clean. Unfortunately, she had to pick up after us. As a kid, you throw stuff on the floor, and you come in after school, and everything's clean, everything's picked up and gone. It's like, oh wow. So yeah, it was a very good environment. I'm very glad I was raised by her.
When you screwed up, what happened with her?
She never got upset. Of course, when my brother came along, we tussled a little bit. We're 8 years difference, and as boys, you kind of roughhouse here and there, and so I get a little bit too rough at times. And she says, "You're gonna kill him" or something. Stop beating them up. And I go, "Mom, we're just playing," But she just, she never had two boys in the house. She always had girls. The first three were all girls. So it was a little bit different to have two boys, one after the other. So a lot of excitement. But yeah, she was, she never really got off the handle or anything. And she kind of smoothed things over after my dad would get upset. So there was one time when, all right, so we had to eat something that I just did not like at all. And I'm sitting there staring at this food, and my dad's like, "You're not leaving this table until you finish this." And I know it was peas and hash or something like that, just something disgusting. So I just sat there and I stared at this thing. So my dad had to go on a call for the evening. So he went out and got up and got cleaned up, and then he got dressed, and my mom's like, "Okay, you can leave." I'm like, "Thank you." So yeah, she never. I don't remember her ever yelling at me.
Was there any use of a wooden spoon?
There was the wooden spoon. Yes. That was her tool. That was her go-to disciplinary. Yeah, that's what she used to spank us with. And my dad had the belt or his hand. But you needed to do that. You needed to do that back then. And kids need to do that now, or kids need to have that done to them now, because it's terrible. So yeah, the wooden spoon.
That's come up in multiple conversations.
Yeah, that was
conversations.
Yeah, or it should be like, "You're gonna get it when your father gets home." We're like, "Oh no, don't tell Dad." Oh yeah.
What's the first memory of your mom?
What I remember a lot is going shopping for clothes and being all depressed because I never found anything that I liked or fit. And she's just like very calm, she's walking, and I'm like trailing behind her, she's in front of me, and I'm sort of stopping behind her. So, I could think of nasty things like Jeannie and I getting in trouble.
Such as?
Such as we were out in front playing, running through a sprinkler, and she was calling us to come in, and we kept running through the sprinkler. Came in probably fairly soaked, I think, and she was waiting with the wooden spoon to whack us. So yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite story about your mom?
Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, I remember walking in on him once. little, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if there was noise or what it was, but I opened up the bedroom door and they're like, so I do remember that. And oh my God, she just loved us so much. She loved to sew, and she would make Barbie doll clothes for us. But there was one of my birthdays, and I knew she was kind of like trying to get packages wrapped or whatever, and of course me, it was just like banging on the door, mom, kind of not letting her alone, because I just had to know what was going on ahead of time. But yeah, so just, I remember that. She was always really good about, if we wanted to have parties and stuff. I remember having a Halloween party and friends from school coming, and, she was always right there, putting stuff together for you, whether it's the last minute or what. It's like, whatever you needed. She was the perfect host. Like my dad would, have the guys come over, play poker, smoke cigars, And so instead of just like little snacky things, she's up there like doing gourmet things, in the kitchen, serving the guys and stuff. And I think watching my mom and my dad dance, at special occasions and stuff, was just always, it was really precious. You could just tell the bond they had, and it was just, that was pretty cool. I don't know.
So if you could describe your mom in one word, what would it be?
Loving. You want more? More than one word?
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Why would you choose that word?
Just the way we were raised. Absolutely. There wasn't a lot of yelling. I don't remember my mom yelling. She had her little wooden spoon, but there was never, like cursing and stuff and, outrageous, like, losing control or whatever, ever. There was a lot of wait till your dad gets home.
We all went through that growing up.
Wait till your dad gets home, right? Which was all we needed to know, But yeah, she was always there. She didn't work, so the whole growing up and stuff, she was, yeah. She was everything. Is everything. Not was, but yes, is everything. And, look at the siblings, and how we all get along, and the kind of relationship, the loving relationship that we have with each other, I think is evident from when you have parents that are that way to each other. So, yeah.
So, where were they living when you were born?
They were living on Mulligan Street in Chicago. Yeah, that's my Cupid hairstyle.
That's a cute hairstyle. That really is. What was it like growing up with her around? What was she like?
Mom is it's really hard to describe her because I could go on and on and on and on. I mean, I've been so blessed to have a mother like her. She was a full-time mom, raising 6 kids, I being the oldest. So I'm not going to say that she experimented on me, but I just remember a loving home. You know, she would always listen. She'd always be there. She would discipline, but in a loving manner. I learned so much from her. What a good cook. She taught me how to sew. My faith, my morals. I mean everything. She's one of a kind. She's so beautiful inside and out.
What's your favorite story about her?
My favorite story about Mom. This can be when she was a girl or any time at all, right? Okay. I don't know how appropriate this is, but we were living on Howard Street, and I must have been 13, 12, 13. You know, Dad with his work, he would be gone a lot. I found her on the front steps of our house, just sitting there. And I went out there and I sat next to her, and I've never heard her swear, ever, ever. And she said something. And I said, Mom, what's the matter? So her and Dad had a bit of a misunderstanding, and he was gone again, you know, working or Knights of Columbus or whatever. And that is the first and last time I have ever, I mean, it just caught me off guard, you know. But, you know, you tend to put a mother like she is on a pedestal, and then realizing, oh, she's human, just like everybody else. I don't know why that's my story.
Did you ever get in trouble, and how did she
handle it? No, I never got in trouble. You know, my husband doesn't believe me to this day. But no, I never cut school. I never ran off. I never did drugs. I never drank.
You know,
Until I got older.
yeah.
But, you know, at 95, and Mom still drives.
Congratulations, she passed her driver's
She
test.
did.
Oh, cool.
She did.
That is great.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll tell the story about how she failed the first time, and she must have been, you know, devastated, but bound and determined that wasn't going to leave her by the wayside. So 2 days or 3 days later, she went back and got it.
What was it like being the last born into the Grabowski family?
It was lovely.
Was it?
Hardly ever got in trouble. I was told that all they had to do was yell at me and I would cry, and they thought that was enough punishment. So I kind of got away with murder.
So how did your mom treat you?
Oh, very nice. Didn't really get in too much trouble with her. My dad was a little bit more stern, but she was the more caring one.
An item known as the wooden spoon
Oh yeah, I heard that my mom would go after my sisters, Jeannie and Mary Lynn, but I've never seen the wooden spoon, so maybe it broke or she just threw that out.
So she never brought the wooden spoon out to you.
No, no, not that I remember. No, not at all.
So if and when you did something that was inappropriate, how did she deal with that with you?
She'd probably just say that she was disappointed. I could tell, like in her voice, that she was disappointed. But never, no timeouts, never got hit. So I kind of knew I was in trouble and kind of learned from my mistake.
Did you ever get in trouble for doing anything? What was something you did that you got in trouble for?
The one that really got stuck in my head was when I was shopping with my dad. I was maybe 5, and I stole a piece of gum. I stole a piece of gum. There was like all this candy at my level, and I'm like, oh, I'll just take one. And my dad saw me, didn't say anything on the way home, and I knew he knew. So I locked myself in the bathroom for a while, and he thought that was punishment enough. He didn't bring it up, but I could tell that he was really upset, and he knew what I did, and yeah.
What's kind of the earliest memory you have about your mom in your life?
I mean, I remember her always being in the kitchen, cooking dinner and making pastries, desserts. I do remember being in the basement with her, maybe when I was 2, being on her lap. My dad was down there and just hanging out downstairs. Can't really remember.
So your mom, because a lot of your siblings have mentioned that she was a pretty good cook.
Yeah, she was.
When you think back to your childhood, what's the one thing that you remember about her making?
Liver and onions. And I would dump ketchup on it because I had to eat it. Casseroles. I mean, I couldn't really name a casserole, but yeah, she was a really good cook.
Do you have any recipes now that you make for your family that she made for you guys?
Crepes. She would make crepes, so I would make crepes for my kids, and they'd fill it with jelly and put powdered sugar on it. But my mom would make crepes, and she would fill it with cream chicken, and that would be a dinner. Or she had this saucer that she would put 2 pieces of bread and tuna in there, and then close it up and put it in the oven. It was like a tuna melt. I have some of her dessert recipes that she would make.
What's your favorite one?
She would make apple slices with the icing on top. That was really good. And then if she ever had any dough left over, Bruce and I would always ask her to make, she'd roll out the dough and put butter and cinnamon and sugar on there and then roll it up. Yeah, it was really good. We would always ask her if she had extra dough to make those. Yeah.
What about a story? Tell me a story about your mother.
I mean, she was really kind, very loving. A story. I can't really think of any story. She would take me shopping to buy clothes.
Who were you closest to in your family when you were growing up?
I like siblings.
Yeah.
Marilyn. We would share a room together. She would always tell me that she'd sometimes put curlers in her hair at night, and my fingers would get caught in her curlers. But we would share a room. I do remember Marilyn getting ready to move out because she was going to get married, and I was really upset because I didn't think we were going to be sisters anymore because she was getting married. But yeah, I would say that she was probably the closest one, just because we shared a room together.
Yeah. If you had to think of one word or two that describes your mother, what would you say?
Loving and kind.
Give me an example.
She hardly ever, would get mad. She was always there for us. She would help me with my homework in the kitchen. When she would cook, I would, always help her. I never ever really heard her yell. I think I learned it from her, loving and kindness, that's how you should be.
What about her relationship with your dad?
They showed a lot of affection. They were on a bowling team. I don't know how long ago, but they would go out at night to go bowling. My dad was gone a lot. He worked for an insurance company, so we hardly ever saw him. But when he would come home at night, we'd see him for a bit. But during the day, I hardly ever saw him, or sometimes he'd be gone at night too, working. But they always were affectionate toward each other, always laughing. I don't think I've ever really heard them, hardly ever get, mad at each other.
Although your mom was she was good at sewing things.
Yeah, she loved to sew.
What did she make for you that you remember?
Skirts, some tops. I do have her sewing machine, but I don't use it that often because I don't sew. But yeah, I have that, and yeah, I do remember her always sewing a lot of things. Ironing, she would always iron downstairs. Watching, what's that soap opera? Days of Our Lives, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was about 3 years old there, and I remember that is like the best outfit that that I have, and I really wanted to wear that outfit, and so I was so intent on sitting so perfect. The photographer came over to the house, and he's placing me on this little bench that was covered with a blanket, and I was just sitting there, and I was just staring at him, and smiling, and I was like so happy because I was wearing the outfit that I wanted, and my mom had curled my hair, and I thought it was adorable. It's an adorable picture of me.
It is. So what was your mom like when you were, this is how old?
3.
What was your
3.
mom like to you when she was 3?
When I was 3?
Do you remember that?
Oh boy. Well, my mom was always just a very loving person and very calm. She never let anything really excite her as far as agitate her or anything. She was just always really, really calm about life, and raising her kids. I have, let's see, well, I was 3, so Eileen was 7, because she's 4 years older than I am. And Mary Lynn she was 2 years younger than I. So Mary Lynn was probably just 1 at that time. So yeah, so my mom was always just a really loving person, and just caring, and just nothing got her riled up. She just kind of went along with raising her kids, and she was just she was and is a fun person. She loves to smile. She loves to laugh, and I think her outlook on life is just just let it happen. Just let life happen, and it'll whatever comes to you, is a grace. So, and that's kind of what I remember, growing up is, the nurturing and the compassion that she always had for us.
So if you had to choose one word to describe,
One word. Wow. There's so many words. She embodies so much. I guess I would just say compassionate and loving. Well, that's 2 words.
we'll take 2. So tell me a story about your mother.
A story. One of the things that I remembered when I was quite young, and probably right around the 3 and 4-year-old stage, we took a trip. We drove to Phoenix to visit my grandparents, her mom and dad, and cousins. I remember us getting in the car and driving, and we had to stop for potty breaks. And my mom had this, it was a portable potty. And she had us all sitting on this portable potty. And my father would be taking videos of us every chance he had, of course, family videos. So he would take a picture, a video, and my mom then had to empty this pail. So she was walking over, and he would take a picture of her walking over and dumping out the remains. And I thought that was funny because she would turn around and she came back and she was like, oh, she was kind of like, I have to do this. And that my father was taking a picture of her, and she knew that. So I think that was funny as a young kid. If you want more funny ones, there was a time when my father and mom dressed up for Halloween, and they were going to a Halloween party. And my mom would make these outfits and make my father wear them. She says, okay, we're going to be whatever. We're going to be like little piggies. And so she would have, them wear, he and my mom wear pig outfits, whether it was like a little pink outfit. And my father would wear it with this little nose, a pig nose, and they stood there for a picture. She would make all of the costumes, and my father would just go along with it. Okay, I guess I'm going to be a pig today. So that's fun. That was funny.
Apparently your mom was a seamstress. She was really sewing.
Yes, she was. She made a dress that I ultimately wore to Ken and Carol's wedding. I was a bridesmaid, and Carol said you could wear any dress you wanted because it was just Darlene and I. And I said, well, because it's, around December, I think I'll wear, a red velvet. And so I picked out the fabric, and my mom and I, looked at the, the design of the dress and that, and she says, okay, I'll make it. And she made this velvet, long, beautiful, beautiful dress. And then for my wedding, all of my bridesmaids, I picked out the fabric, and she made every one of the bridesmaids' dresses for my wedding. Yeah. And her mother, my grandmother, was a seamstress also. So I think she got the genes from her mom.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she had a sewing machine, and she would just be down there every night downstairs and, sewing away.
Wow. Did you ever get in trouble? And
Oh.
what did she do to you?
Oh. Well, since it's going to be legal next year. Oh, okay. Okay. What, who's counting? Yes. There were times I wasn't very proud of, and she and my dad found out, and they probably were very disappointed, I'm sure, in what I had done. And so, but they never really yelled. It was that they sat down and we talked about it. It was just kind of talking about the event. And there was one time when I was dating Bill, and I had the reefer. And so I would roll the reefer, and then he would come and pick me up, and we would go off and have our little fun with the little marijuana. And so there was one day where I came out of my bedroom and I walked down the hall, and I must have dropped one. Unbeknownst to me, my mom then found it. And the next day, we went off, Bill and I came back, but the next day, my mom shows me this rolled reefer and said, "What's this? One of your little Bill's marijuana bits?" And I said, "No, it wasn't Bill's." I said, I came up with the story that I was holding it for somebody else. The typical holding it for somebody else. I mean, how many times have people said that line? So, and I don't think she believed it, but she let it go. And just that was just her comment, her frustration that this is something that was not acceptable to her. She didn't give it back, but I never felt any ramifications, real negative ramifications from that, other than I knew in my heart that she wasn't happy.
So when you were younger
I was kind of a troublemaker.
So when you were younger and you did something that wasn't appropriate, really younger, and it wasn't appropriate.
Oh, younger. Oh, not teenager. Okay, younger. Okay. Oh, yeah. My mom had a wooden spoon, and she loved this wooden spoon. She would run around. She would chase us around the house with the wooden spoon. There we are. Our house, you go kitchen, the living room, hallway, and the bedrooms are off, and you pass through one bedroom and into the kitchen again. So you go in the circle. So there we are, running around the house, and my mom is chasing us with this wooden spoon. And she never really connected it to us. It was just the fact that it would scared us, But then at one point, it was funny. It started to be funny because she was, she couldn't catch up to us because we would always, be running. We were like, yeah. So, so she, as a little kid, we were kind of, in a way, fearful of the wooden spoon, but then it started to become like a little joke. So.
Bruce's first fish.
Is that on there in the back?
Well, I think it says it on the front too.
Okay. So, okay.
Okay.
What's on the other one?
Then this is first grade graduation. It says first grade graduation, but I think it's kindergarten.
Really? They let you
Yes.
go?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's kindergarten. We had a graduation ceremony for kindergarten, not first grade. So that's
Okay.
okay.
Is that on the backside? Kind of, even if it's close.
It says first grade, but I know it's kindergarten. And then this one is not.
Need longer arms?
I can't. This is. I don't know how I got this one because I'm not in this picture.
Well, then just put it there and we'll.
All right. And then this is my dad giving me a bottle.
Oh,
Apparently, my mother said that I was the only child that he ever gave a bottle to. So out of all the 6 kids, I'm the one that had the honor of being fed by my father.
really? That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
What's your kind of earliest memory of your mom? If you can think back at any time, what stands out to you about her?
She was obviously the best mother, always caring, always giving, always wanting us to do well. If we needed help, if I needed a paper type, she'd get the old typewriter out and she'd be typing away at it before computers. And she, I'm just a poker when I come to typing with 2 fingers. But yeah, I'd write a paper, she'd type it. Costumes for plays, she'd make it. I remember there was one play, I think it was kindergarten. I was a butterfly. So we made these monarch butterfly wings and strapped them on and there I was kind of flying across the stage. Very resourceful too. I remember, they would go on vacation and she would have the lunch money put together for school. And I don't, 75 cents or 50 cents but she'd have it all stacked and wrapped in cellophane. So for each day, we'd take the little cellophane stack of money, which again, was probably less than $1 of change, but she'd have it all organized. Dental school, now we're jumping ahead from kindergarten to dental school, but I lived at home for all 4 years of dental school, but she made my lunch every day for dental school. She's, again, very, always there, always proud of us, and yeah.
If you had to pick one word, just one word to describe her, what would you say?
Giving, just giving of herself, giving of her time, just giving to others and to us kids. Time's flying. 56, she's 95. I hope the gene pool was passed on to me. I think all our parents would tell us, time flies as you get older, and now I'm experiencing it myself. But again, at 95, it's a remarkable achievement. Also, the fact that she's living at home on her own, renewed her driver's license again. Every year she says, this is the last year, and then another year, one more year, and we just thought this was the end of it, and then I heard that she renewed it again. So good for her. So the independence is important.
I think that's kind of kept her going for a long time. And yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I don't think she wants to change anything. It's working. It's working perfectly for her. So yeah, I hope I can achieve the same, longevity and everything that she's done for us. I'd like to do it for my family as well. Truly loved by my father, he would always say that. He was always vocal about it, and he would always show that, he wasn't afraid of, showing his love to her. So they were quite a pair.
Do you think of a story about them like that? How we might have showed that affection, or
there was I think an anniversary. I don't know what number. Maybe it was 25. But he was proud of that achievement. They both were, and it was like wedding all over again. With reception and entertainment and renewing the vows in church, and so yeah, a very dedicated couple, dedicated parents.
In this, area here, before dinner was to have Bruce, or Jim, excuse me, say the blessing.
Oh, okay, yeah, we gotta do that. Hey guys, everybody back together
Mom,
Over here.
for the blessing. Very good.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Alrighty.
All right.
Alright, bow our heads.
Almighty Father in heaven, great Creator God, Father, we are just so grateful and thankful that we can be together here as a family, Father, to celebrate this opportunity, this wonderful milestone of my mother being 95 years old, Father. We just thank you for family. We thank you that you have created us to have this opportunity, and you've blessed us with our mother and father, and you can see the fruits of marriage and family, and how you just designed family to continue on forever. So we just thank you for that. We just thank you that we can all be here together to celebrate this event. And we just realize, Father, that all things do come from you, and we would not be here without you creating us and just giving us the life that we have. So we just thank you for that. And we just thank you for all that you do provide. We do thank you now that you have provided this meal. We ask for your blessing to be upon it, that you will heal the food, so be nourishing for us. Keep us healthy, great God. We just thank you for it all and pray this in Jesus Christ's holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Joe. One gorgeous woman, our mother, who created
Throw money, right?
Excuse me, where's the award? There should be this big award. Best mom ever. But anyway, this is why we're here and gathered here today. Today is my mother's, our mother's, your grandmother's,
And great
and
grandmother.
great grandmother's. Is it a great yet? No.
Better not be.
95th birthday.
With a driver's license.
Right there.
So anyway, we're just so blessed to have, everybody here celebrating this very, very, very special day. Mom, we all love you so much.
Yes, we do.
Happy birthday.
And
You don't know how happy this makes me feel.
you, we wouldn't be here.
So,
You would.
I hope everybody
No, I
came with
wouldn't.
an
That's right, you wouldn't be.
appetite.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
Because
With an appetite, yeah.
something happened with the lights. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ron. Happy birthday to you. And many
Oh, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. All right, blow out the candles.
So say
I
50.
can't remember when the last time I had a birthday
Blow
cake.
it out.
Aww. Really?
1 year ago.
Like this here.
I'll show you a picture of Bill and I bringing a birthday cake.
Hey, Ruthie, that's why it says 59.
That's right.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, we could-
95 or
switch
59?
that. Which one do you want to be?
90.
You want to be 95 because
59 would be nice.
you act like you're 59.
There you
Yeah,
go.
come on. All righty, so make a wish.
Okay.
Swallow.
We'll spit.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Gorgeous.
Love it, love it.
I made the cake myself.
Yeah.
All right, here.
You did such a good job.
I'm telling you, I
Just
squeezed.
for
I squeezed,
Mom,
you know
we're
what
gonna do it one more time
Squeezing Bill.
because this is what she wished for.
All right. Should we sing again?
Going back.
Happy.
Yeah, so you have to sing it backwards now.
Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Go.